Hello, everyone. This is Misha Houston, and I'm here to do my review of If Loving You Is Wrong. Tonight's episode is entitled A Dame in Distress, and I found this episode, pretty entertaining. I enjoyed the situations and the confrontations, and I also enjoyed Kelly's performance. Edwina Finlay Dickerson. I thought that she did a wonderful job with her role in Kelly tonight. In my opinion, she hasn't been the greatest actress, but I really, believed, her pain and her suffering and her post traumatic stress disorder. So, for that, I appreciate the episode and I thought it was good. And I look forward to, seeing what's going on in the future, with the later episodes. So thank you again, Tyler Perry. I enjoyed both shows, The Haves and the Have Nots, and If Loving You Is Wrong Tonight, and I appreciate you. So thank you so very much. Now, the first group of people we go to is Kelly, Travis, Lucian, Natalie, Justice, and Ian. Natalie wakes up and tells Lucian that she heard gunshots. She goes to the window and sees that Travis's car is in front of Kelly's house. At Kelly's house, she puts the gun down, onto the counter. And then Kelly goes on to Justice's room and climbs into bed with him. He wakes up and asks her, what are you doing? Are you okay? What was that? Kelly says it's nothing, and Justice goes on back to sleep. Now, back at Natalie and Lucian's house, she tells Lucian that he needs to get up, that she heard gunshots, and she saw Travis's car outside. Lucian gets up and goes over to Kelly's house. To his horror, he sees that Travis is bleeding and he has been shot, and he goes back outside and tells Natalie to call the police and an ambulance. At Kelly's, Lucian speaks to Kelly, who is completely incoherent, and she's in shock over what has happened. She can't seem to realize what she has done. She is babbling, and Lucian can make no sense of her. She tells him that he was at the window and she let him in. She wanted him to die so he can stop torturing her. She admits to shooting him. Lucian calls for help, and all the while she says that she shot him. Eventually, Natalie comes over to Kelly's house, and to her horror, she sees, Travis lying there on the ground bleeding. Lucian tells her, to wait outside, which she does. Lucian, talks to Kelly and asks her, where is the gun? He takes hold of the gun, and Kelly says that she did let him in and that he was at the window and he was banging and banging on the window. So she let him in and she shot him. She kept shooting and shooting and shooting. She's completely out of her mind at this point. Lucian tells her that she is in shock and she is not to say a word to the police. Lucian tells Natalie to come in, which she reluctantly does, and he tells Natalie to take Justin and Kelly out the back door to their house. He tells her to be careful and watch her steps. Kelly is a mess, but Natalie manages to get her out of the house. Then Lucian calls Ian on his cell phone. He calls Ian and tells him that Kelly shot Travis. Ian wants to know if Travis is dead, and Lucian tells him that Travis is alive and that he has a pulse. Lucian tells Ian that the cops are coming, and Lucian, did his best to keep, the cops away from Kelly. He urges Ian to hurry up and get over there as quickly as he can. Ian, gets dressed and he says that he is on his way. Lucian goes to check on Travis, who is bleeding and unconscious, but he is still alive. So, Lucian, is in a bad way right now. Kelly's in a bad way. Justice may be in a bad way. Travis is certainly in a bad way, and he may not even survive. And I hope, that he doesn't survive. I'm sick of Travis. I'm sick of this storyline. They've been going on, with this storyline for a long time, and I want it, to be put to an end. So hopefully things, will get better for Kelly, later on in the season. Now, the next three people we go to is Brad, Marcy, and Alex. Brad and Marcy are in Brad's truck and they're talking. She chastises herself for her behavior, for marrying a moron like Randal, and for throwing herself at Brad. Brad tells her not to sweat it, that she is a human being and one of the strongest women that he has ever known. Brad says that he truly does love her, but he loves his wife too. He says that the timing was wrong for us and that it's not her fault and it doesn't make her any less special. She doesn't want his sorrow or his pity and she just wants to go. Then Alex calls, but Brad refuses to answer the phone. Marcy says that she can't bear the two of them being together, alone together. Marcy tells Brad that Alex threatened her, saying that if Marcy doesn't leave Brad alone, she will tell Randal that she is pregnant with his child. Alex calls again and tells Brad the situation at Kelly's. Marcy listens to her own phone messages, and it is Randal cursing at her and asking her if she is pregnant. Marcy thinks that it was Alex who told, but in actuality, it was Larry. Brad doesn't want to believe that it was Alex and plans on discussing it with Alex when he gets home. He starts the car and then he drives off. I mean, it seems to me that Brad, is starting to get tired of Alex, and he should have been tired of her a long time ago. But, that's just my opinion. Now, the next group of people we go to is Kelly, Esperanza, and Natalie. And also Lushion, Marcy, Brad, and Alex. I clumped a few scenes together. At Natalie's house, Kelly is being consoled by Natalie and Esperanza. She is in shock. She's half wild and completely mad and out of her mind. She says that he just wouldn't stop. She knows that she shot him and she is not sorry about it. Natalie wants Kelly to speak her mind, but Esperanza is unsure. Esperanza doesn't want her to say too much in front of the police. Kelly admits to shooting Travis and wanting him to die. Kelly gets up, charges forward, screams, screaming out loud, saying that he deserved to die. She is absolutely hysterical at this point, and both Natalie and Esperanza have to calm her down. Kelly knows that she is not okay. She says that she will lose her job and her credit will go bad and that he raped her. So apparently, Travis, succeeded in trying to rape her. He was, assaulting her, many times before, and apparently he succeeded in raping her. Esperanza is pleading with her to remain quiet and to calm down. Natalie goes and gives her a glass of water and says that it was self defense. Now, before I go forward, I think, Kelly has the battered woman syndrome. And I think that that should be her defense in court instead of just saying it was self defense. I mean, I think she's a battered woman and I think she snapped and, tried to kill the man. And it has happened before. Now, outside, Brad and Marcy drive up, and Lucian tells them what happened. Marcy, leaves for Natalie's house for Kelly's sakes. Alex is there as well, and she is unsure of how many gunshots she heard. Brad asks about the kids, and she tells him that the kids are fine. And he also asks about Travis's condition. Lucian is not sure if he will survive. Brad is concerned about Kelly even having a gun in the neighborhood, but Lucian is more relieved that she had the gun to protect herself with. Brad thinks that this is all crazy and insanity, and he goes back into the house with Alex. Now, back inside of Brad and Alex's house, he confronts her about, mistreating and threatening Marcy. She admits to doing that, and Brad thinks that she told Randall that Marcy was pregnant and went over to his house when he was gone. She completely denies telling Randall, but Brad has heard the message on Marcy's answering machine, her cell phone, and she continues to deny telling Randall or ever going on over to his house. She hops up on her soapbox, wondering why Brad doesn't believe her. She says again that she did not tell Randall about the pregnancy, nor did she ever go over to his house when he was gone. You know, she asked him if he believes her, but he doesn't really answer. He just goes upstairs to bed. And I don't think Brad should believe Alex because she is lying to him. She's still lying to him. She lied about what happened with those test results and what happened with Dr. Ralston. So she is lying to him and he should not believe her at all. Now, the next group of people we go to is Lucian, Ian, Marcy, Natalie, Esperanza, and Kelly. Ian drives up and he and Lucian start to talk about the details of what happened with Kelly and Travis. Lucian, tells him that she shot him, opened the door and let him in and turned off the alarm. Lucian also did his best to keep the police away from Kelly. Ian asks about Travis's condition and his family. Ian warns Lucian that this may go bad for Kelly. This is a son of a preacher. It's a prominent church. There are many judges and lawyers in the congregation. Ian comments that Lucian really did a number on him with this case. Lucian shakes his hand, thanks him, and goes into the house. Kelly, in her bad emotional state, tells Ian that she shot him down and tried to kill him. Ian asks to be alone with Kelly, and Esperanza, Natalie, and Marcy leave. So this is very very serious for Kelly. She's in a bad way, and I think she might end up going to prison for this. I certainly hope not though, because the person who really needs to go to prison is Travis. He is completely and totally out of his mind. The next group we go to is Eddie, Larry, and Randall. Randall and Larry are passed out on the couch while Eddie is upstairs, chained up in leather and restraints. With his foot, he manages to get a hold of his phone and he dials for Lucian. Now, the next scene and the last few scenes of the episode, which are my favorite, by the way, belongs to Lucian and Natalie, Esperanza, Marcy, Eddie, Larry, and Randall. Outside, Lucian, Natalie, Esperanza, and Marcy talk about Kelly's situation. Lucian gets a call from Eddie, but he does not answer the phone. Esperanza does not believe that it was self defense, and I don't believe it was self defense either. I think it was battered woman syndrome. And I think that, as I said before, that should be argued in court. Lucian tells Natalie that Kelly opened the door, turned off the alarm to lure him in. Esperanza questions why and how Kelly got another gun. Natalie admits to getting Kelly another gun after the police took hold of the first one. Esperanza warns Natalie that she may be in trouble, and Lucian agrees with that, especially if Travis dies. His condition, is not good. He lost a lot of blood. He's been shot multiple times, and he is in true trouble. Lucian again receives a call from Eddie. Lucian answers it this time, and Eddie pleads with Lucian for help. He is chained up in Randall's house. Lucian doesn't believe him and tells him not to call him again. Then Marcy notices Larry's car in front of Randall's house and wonders, why is he there, since he is her attorney. Then Esperanza gets a call from Eddie. She answers the phone and Eddie, pleads with her for help, saying that he has been chained up and tied up at Randall's. Esperanza doesn't believe it and she hangs up in his face. Marcy again wonders why Larry is there and rightly guesses that it was he who told Randall that she was pregnant, with his child. Esperanza receives another call and they all decide to go over to Randall's house to see what's going on. Randall and Larry wake up out of their drunken stupor, and Lucian tells them that they got a call from Eddie saying that he was tied up in this house. Both Randall and Larry deny everything, and Marcy gives permission for Lucian to go upstairs and search. Larry threatens Lucian, into not searching, but it doesn't stop Lucian from going up the stairs. Downstairs, Randall questions and threatens Marcy about the pregnancy, saying, "Let me find out that you're pregnant by Brad." She counters with him, "Oh, so you can go and get the woman pregnant next door, but I can't go and get pregnant by another man." They go back and forth with their insults and their curses, and I am so ready for that marriage to be over, in my opinion. Upstairs, Lucian discovers Eddie tied up in leather chains and in restraints. He needs the key and he asks him, "Please go and get the key for me so I can get free." But he also asks for Lucian's gun. He can't get a hold to his. Lucian goes downstairs and asks for the keys from Randall and Larry, while Marcy, Natalie, and Esperanza go upstairs. They refuse to give Lucian the key to untie Eddie, and they deny everything. Lucian eventually calls for a locksmith. Upstairs, the girls find Eddie, tied up in his restraints, and Eddie and Esperanza takes a picture of it, and then they all leave the house. Larry eventually gives up the keys, saying that he did it to himself. Lucian warns them both that if Eddie presses charges, then they are going directly to jail. Lucian orders them to stay where they are while he goes upstairs to free Eddie. Upstairs, Lucian frees him, and Eddie vows revenge against them both. Eddie, refuses to press charges, but he does vow to handle the situation. Downstairs, Larry and Randall laugh, knowing that Eddie would never press charges against them. Eddie eventually comes downstairs and he's fully dressed and he thanks Lucian for helping him. Larry and Randall blow kisses at him and they laugh at him and tease him. And as I said before, Eddie thanks Lucian, but then grabs Lucian's gun and starts shooting at Randall and Larry. And that is where the episode ends. What a crazy episode. Eddie looked horrible, looked ridiculous. Uh, Larry and Randall had set out to humiliate him, and that is exactly what they have done. But in doing so, they have made themselves a real enemy in Eddie. Eddie's not going to take this humiliation lying down, no doubt about it. And I can't wait to see what Eddie does to the two of them. I am so sick of Randall and Larry. Thank you all so much for watching my review and come back next week for the next episode. My MVPs of the episodes is Kelly and Eddie. Kelly and Eddie are fed up and they just start shooting. So for that, I have named them both my MVPs. And I also, again, want to give a shout out to Edwina Finlay Dickerson for doing such a wonderful job with her acting. I really appreciated her acting in this. She really did a good job. So thank you so much, Edwina. I appreciate it. As I said before, come back next week for the next episode. If you like my video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will be back next week with the next episode. Enjoy your life as I do, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much.